Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Money Mike, and y'all, I got a new microphone for the channel, which means I think that means I'm a professional YouTuber, because I got a microphone that is, well, technically it's still not plugged in. I still haven't plugged it in yet, but let's go ahead and make some professional predictions for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or premium live event. Look, AEW still calls their stuff pay-per-views. WWE calls them premium live events. It's easy to get them mixed up. So, the Elimination Chamber is the last premium live event on the road to WrestleMania 40. Very short card here. And we will have a segment featuring Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins in the Grayson Waller effect. As I imagine that will confirm the speculated tag team match main event for night one of WrestleMania, which would be Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody, which Cody and Seth will probably be pulling double duty for WrestleMania weekend. Before we get into my predictions, first, hit that like and subscribe button today for more wrestling content. I will be back here on Monday as I will be talking AEW. I'll be finally making my first AEW video. I've been wanting to make a video about AEW for a while, and I'm finally going to do it. You know, we're a week away from AEW Revolution. I will be at AEW Revolution for Sting's last match. So, and the card in general, it looks pretty good. I'll talk more about that on Monday. So make sure you subscribe for that. Now, let's go back to Australia. Now, again, because of the time zone differences, I put up the screenshot here. I guess nothing says breakfast like throwing people into 16 tons of steel. Let's go ahead and start with the Women's Elimination Chamber match. We have Becky Lynch in her first ever Elimination Chamber match versus Bianca Belair versus Liv Morgan versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton and a returning Raquel Rodriguez. To me, personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Liv Morgan win. I think on Raw, she made a great argument of why she should be the one to face Rhea Ripley. And there's backstory to it, there's logic, but I don't think she's going to win. I think this is going to come down to Becky Lynch and Bianca, and people call this predictable, and people are calling the whole card predictable, and it is, because it's kind of just a filler show to get to WrestleMania at this point. But I will say this. For anyone who remembers 2K16 or 17, whatever game it was, I think it was 2K16, where Brock Lesnar was on the cover of the game. I think it was, Brock Lesnar was the cover of the game, and Goldberg was the pre-order bonus for said game, and then WWE built a whole entire feud and match out of a video game. So the one thing I will say, I'm officially picking Becky Lynch, but I will say this. WWE built a whole rivalry around a video game. Brock being on the cover, Goldberg being the pre-order bonus. Look at 2K24. You have Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair on the deluxe edition of the game. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen, that Bianca's going to win automatically because she's on the cover and she's going to be the one to face Rhea Ripley. I'm just saying there is prior history of WWE using the video games to advance their storylines on TV. So we saw it with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. You have Rhea and Bianca on the cover of 2K24 Deluxe Edition. So I'm just saying it's a possibility that they could use the game and use 2K24 to push sales of the game and push sales of the Deluxe Edition by having Bianca win and Bianca face Rhea. And also, I feel like there's a little bit of money in Becky trying to find her way to Rhea Ripley or chasing Rhea. You know, Becky mentioned also on Raw how her and Rhea's paths have been, have crossed, but not a whole lot. Almost like they've been avoiding each other, basically. And it would be interesting to me to see if Becky lost this match, and then maybe she gets her way back to Rhea Ripley through Money in the Bank, say in July, and then that's how we get Becky versus Rhea at SummerSlam, because she cashes in on to have a match against Rhea at SummerSlam. I'm just saying, if Bianca wins, that's a possibility that we could still get Becky and Rhea later on this year. But my official pick is Becky Lynch will win the Elimination Chamber and go on to challenge Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. And sticking with the Judgment Day, we will move on to the tag team titles. The Judgment Day versus Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate. Judgment Day win. I think that I don't know if it was the plan, with the way R-Truth has gotten over lately. But I have a funny feeling Miz and R-Truth are going to beat Finn and Damian for the tag titles at WrestleMania. Truth pins Damian Priest. Maybe you have Damian then recover and he cashes in on night 2 or something and ruins Drew McIntyre's moment or something. Which, spoiler alert. But anyway, this whole thing with Judgment Day and R-Truth has been so fun. And a lot of people compared it to Sami Zayn being in the Bloodline. And to me, I mean, again, I don't know if WWE planned it like this, but when things just, happen naturally in wrestling, it's great to see the company kind of just go with it instead of trying to force another direction. In her home country, as she will be challenged by Nia Jax, who, lost in all this homecoming stuff for Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax is also from Australia, but Rhea Ripley's homecoming. Let's be real. But yeah, it is a nod that Nia Jax is from Australia, and I wish WWE would actually acknowledge that. But yeah, Rhea Ripley's winning. They tried their best to make Nia look believable by taking out all the competitors in the Women's Elimination Chamber. But we all know what's going to happen. I don't know. I want to say I would love to see this be in the main event because I would love to see Rhea get such a great homecoming to close the show, but I just think it's going to be the men's one where you have probably Seth, or it might be the women's match too, but maybe you have Seth come out and confront the winner of the men's chamber, which I already said it's going to be Drew, or you have Rhea Ripley confront Becky Lynch if you have the women's chamber close the show. Last but not least, I kind of already spoiled it. Drew McIntyre winning the Elimination Chamber. Apparently there's I didn't look at the SmackDown spoilers, So apparently there's like an injury angle with Bobby Lashley, so he might be replaced in the match. But the match is Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton versus maybe Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. So to me, I feel like LA Knight, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, those three will probably factor into the U.S. title picture at WrestleMania. Randy Orton will probably will join Cody's Avengers at WrestleMania to stop the bloodline to help Cody finish his story. Bobby Lashley, who knows? Like I said, I've heard they've done an injury angle. I'm not too sure as I didn't read the SmackDown spoilers, but as it is taped, because of them traveling to Australia and everything, I will say I do think it is very interesting that the possibility of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes pulling off double duty, wrestling on night 1 and night 2. I mean, that's kind of risky because, Seth is already hurt. You don't want to risk something happening on night 1 that might end up something happening that impacts night 2. I mean, I know I'm a Debbie Downer, but I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but obviously the Grayson Waller effect is going to set up the main event between the likely night 1 main event of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock, while they will have their singles matches on night 2. But again, it is quite risky to have 3 of those competitors in that match wrestle twice, with a big chance of a risk in, especially if you have something happen on night 1. Just saying, Seth got hurt wrestling Jinder Mahal, so we don't want to throw out all the plans for night 2 if an injury happens on night 1. But hey, we'll see what happens on the Grayson Waller effect. Will The Rock, will Roman Reigns show up? We saw Paul Heyman talking to Grayson Waller. So we'll see if the Bloodline has any tricks up their sleeve on the Grayson Waller effect tomorrow morning. So those are my picks for the Elimination Chamber. Again, my name is Money Mike, and let me know in the comments below, who do you think is going to win the Elimination Chamber matches? Who goes on to WrestleMania? And join me here on Monday as I will talk AEW Revolution and AEW just in general, as a general discussion of AEW, as I just have some thoughts about some stuff. And enjoy the Elimination Chamber, and I'll see y'all Monday.